What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Unreal Engine 5 game development live stream. We're back in our Gas Course project, an action RPG built from scratch using the Gameplay Ability System plugin, Blueprint, C++, all that good stuff. So the last couple streams, we've been working on targeting, and I think we got targeting to a pretty good spot where we're able to target things correctly, especially based off camera, as well as movement input vectors. And it overall looks pretty good. And we got debugging stuff that we finalized yesterday. They'll give us like the overall scorings of everything. And in general, it works, There's going to be more targeting stuff that we'll do later. But I think this will be enough to kind of move on and move forward with. Because eventually we'll have to add things like, better filtering. Like I would maybe want to do like occlusion filtering. We already made a filtering based off tags. If the actor is dead, has a dead tag. But today I wanted to work on a movement interruption system. And what that really means is, for example, I have this kind of ability where I should turn off that debug. But I have this ability, and then when I cancel, I'm moving forward, but like it takes very long for me to be able to interrupt it with my movement. So I want to make a system where I can mark up my montages, and so when I'm in these frames of a montage, I should be able to use my movement to interrupt that montage and start moving. So let's go ahead and get started. I don't know exactly how I want to handle this. I'm thinking, it'd be nice if it could be done explicitly within a anim notify state, but I know anim notify states you can't do too much there. Like I don't know if you can do latent tasks or anything like that, so I don't know if that's gonna be our best bet to do it there. So I think it just needs to be something like, maybe it has to like apply a tag or something, and when we have this tag, we can interrupt it or something like that. So under player ability system, I don't think that's where I want to do it. Maybe it could just be under animation. There's notifies. And there's abilities and stuff like that. So I'll just do one for movement. Why not? And then anim notify state. ANS for anim notify state. Movement interruption. And yeah, when you have a notify state, you can override a few functions, like begin, end, etc. But yeah, within these functions, you can't really do much, right? You can't like wait, gameplay tag added, right? You can't do stuff like that. So we might need to simply like apply a tag that the player can interrupt. So let's go ahead, let's close all those tabs. We gotta go to native tags. It should be status, right? So status is moving. So status can move, interrupt. And then there should be, what's this under? Gameplay ability system. Something like this. And then I guess I'll write something, and we don't need that. It could be like status dot movement dot, what do we want to do? Can interrupt. Thank you so much for the follow there, Graham. I IDLW. I don't know how to pronounce it. Idlith. Much appreciated. Thanks for stopping by and hanging out. How we doing? Right now we're working on montage interruptions based off some tag that we get applied when we're doing some movement. Just so we can get better, I guess, flow between our montages and movement input and our basic locomotion. It'd be pretty straightforward. I just don't know where to handle this. And thank you as well, McMattech, for the follow. I appreciate it. How you doing? Graham is fine. Okay, good, good. And for some reason, yeah, the chat's not really loading fast enough on my end on Streamlabs, so apologies. It's the end of your coding day, but I like watching other Unreal devs. Okay, cool, cool. Yeah, it's the end of the day for me as well. I've been out of work for a few hours now. Hello. Damn it, McTatic, I can't go anywhere without you. Oh, you guys like a rag and tag team? Couple people? Yeah, so right now we're adding our tag, defining it in the native gameplay tags here. And then I'm assuming within the controller, the player controller would be the best place to do this. Oh, you follow all the same Unreal devs? Do you have any personal favorites at the moment? Are you watching anyone interesting particularly? Because I usually watch like First Crimson if I can catch him. He's not really an Unreal dev, but everybody watches Pirate Software. And then, who else is there? I'm always kind of drawing a blank. Just look at the list of people that I follow and just see who gets recognized off the top. Yeah, Prismatica Dev, also a very good one. Swashbuckling Fox is making a cool combat template. Stevie Ray Drawn. Stevie Ray Drawn. That's a cool name. I'm definitely interested in finding Swashbuckling Fox. That seems like a cool person to follow. I've been a bit less active on Twitch lately, digging into C++, trying to make a small app for Windows. So far so good, easier than I expected. Should help me out when I moved to Unreal C++ instead of doing just blueprints. I mean, that's how I migrated. I was doing mostly blueprints. And then slowly just trying to translate the blueprints into C++ just out of curiosity. And then, you know, here I am, you know, doing a little bit of both, being able to prototype and do a couple different things, which is great. So you're definitely on the right path, I think. Okay, so what do I want to do? So basically, mesh component, I want to get the owner. And then I want to apply... I want to... What is it? Get ability system component. And then... There's like gameplay tag, right? I gotta remember syntax here. Has mentioned gameplay tag. Or is it like add loose? Yeah, add loose gameplay tags. That's what I need. So you do that. Should replicate probably. I'm still trying to figure out whether or not I want to be doing multiplayer. So for right now, like I'm kind of jumping back and forth, which isn't very smart. I was the other way around. Did all the traditional coding. Learning to blueprints really threw me off to having to read executions left to right instead of top down. Yeah. I mean, that's a very good point. If you're going from like, you know, line-based coding to kind of flow graphs, visual scripting, from what I understand, like, you know, going from C++ to blueprints is easier, I guess. Only because you're familiar with libraries, you're familiar with the flow of execution, and you know how to execute code in general. With blueprints, most people who learn blueprints also aren't very technical by default. So there's that barrier to entry. So there's our status. .movement.can interrupt. So let's go into our montage here. Now I find it fast to prototype in PP and then convert to C++. Yes, that's exactly what I like doing. Doing it in blueprints, figuring out all the, you know, the nonsense. Faster iteration times, and you know, bing bang boom. Then you can convert it to C++ little by little, and you know, from there you'll have to iron out the bugs, and since sometimes you need to go back and forth from blueprints to C++, and I've done that a few times. So we have our can move interrupt state. So let's add our notify state here. Let's look here. So basically at this point, I'd say we should be able to, maybe here, 102. We'll try at 102. Bring this all the way to the end. And again, to recap what we're trying to achieve, and we'll see if we achieve it. You know, I press 3, you know, I'm doing this targeting thing. I gotta fix this as well at some point. You know, it doesn't really track too well. But say I press T to cancel. I want to be able to interrupt that sooner into this locomotion, right? So I believe now we can go into player controller, our blueprint there. What's the side project? I heard you mention multiplayer and gameplay text. Is it safe to assume the use of gas? Yes, 100% gas. I'm using this project, you know, as a way to continue learning, as well as, you know, I have a ongoing blog on the Unreal forums. I don't know if you'll be able to see. Let me type it into chat directly onto Twitch. But yeah, I'm updating that blog with all the stuff that I'm doing, and this is mostly an educational tool. But you know, if something interesting comes of it, then great. You know, why not? You know, we have, you know, simple projectiles, and we've been working a lot on targeting recently, particularly like movement-based targeting, where we're using the movement input vector to determine the best target. That also uses the targeting system plugin, but we just extended it to handle cases for camera and input, and then, you know, eventually distance and stuff. And we have some interesting interactions, like when we have enough hits with burn, we apply burn, and then if they die while on fire, they explode, and they do damage over time. Fire, burn damage, they explode. We have a couple of different types of abilities, and, you know, we're slowly just making progress and trying to make things more interesting and more interactive over time. For now, this character I'm thinking is just like an elemental mage, like fire dancer kind of guy. So yeah, that's where the project is. So we've recently just finished up some stuff for targeting. I'm going to be updating that blog with all the information about targeting, where I'll share the code, and I'll share my thought process, and, you know, I always welcome feedback and discussion. So if you guys find that blog interesting, feel free to like it, or even, you know, engage with it if you'd like. So yeah, let's find, so we already have our input action for move, right? So we should be able to, we can make a custom event, I suppose, right now. Can move interrupt. Yeah, no problem. Definitely check it out if you can. And yeah, it's my pleasure to try to share these things with everybody. Always trying to learn. I will check it once I've slept too. I do a lot of work with gas and try and read everything. Yeah, oh, cool. Definitely interested in hearing what you guys say as I develop these things, if you continue watching. So within can move interrupt, we want to get controlled. I guess I already have this, right? On possess, already have the character. I should be able to, like the only reason why, yeah, I gotta just move this to C++ at some point. I'm doing some gross things here and there and I don't like it, but for now, whatever. So, get, I guess, has gameplay tag or gameplay. Okay, I have to get the ability component. Get ability system component. As matching gameplay tag. Or I don't know. What would be best, I think? Could it be that on possess can I say, you know, wait, gameplay tag count changed? And we can say, you know, status dot movement can interrupt. And then we could just say, is it less than 1? Or is it greater than 0, I guess? That a variable b can move interrupt. I think, you know, best practice, I believe, there's an event unpossess, right? Let's call that. And we can probably translate this back to C++ once we kind of prove our concept. So yeah, let's get our async action. So wait can move interrupt. And then we can just do, you know, is valid. And then end task, I think, or end action. That. And then I should have this variable now to have fun with. So untriggered, I should be able to say can move interrupt. We branch. And then how do I want to do this? So get anim. There's get anim layer. So just like get current montage is valid. And we don't have to be perfect with how we're implementing this. We'll move it to code. So we could say get slot or slot is valid additive slot. Is there a way to get? There's definitely a way to stop anim montage, or there should be like end montage. Get blend out arguments. Like I want to. Let's just see if this works. So stop anim montage. We can also put a breakpoint in. Okay, this is broken. So target is character. So I should have to do that, right? So press 3 and then T and then I'll start doing this and then we get it. So we know that works. Let's try again. So moving forward and yeah, that works. It's a lot better than how it was. So, and okay, so basically I'm able to interrupt it immediately. So there is a bug. So can move interrupt. Let's see. Oh, I'm stupid. Forgot to remove the tags on notify end. So remove loose gameplay tags. Should replicate probably. Take you out. That. that. We should be okay then. Yeah, the hunt begins. Luckily, we found it pretty quickly, I think. So class defaults, all good. So in here, there should be a way to make sure this gets fire montage tick type queued. So queue notifies and trigger them at the end of the evaluation phase. Trigger notifies as they are suitable for training sections. So queued should be enough. But a long day, maybe my eyes are just tired. Would it be easier to bump up an Unreal scale a bit to make it easier to read? I'm not sure how to do that. If you could, if you know how to do that, I'd be happy to do it. Is there like a general like scale? I guess there is application scale. So is this better? Control Shift W. Yeah, you're right. Cool. Thanks. Didn't realize you could do that. Hopefully that's more readable. Let me know if 1.5 is good enough, if your eyes aren't bleeding. Awesome. Thank you for the advice there. So now we should be okay. So again, we press 3, we're here. We do that, remove, we get to there. Do it again. Yeah, perfect. But I feel like there should be like stop montage with blend out. Or stop slot animation. So there's this. So there is the anim instance. So I should be able to get anim instance. Get blend out args. Let me do context sensitive again. Get current active montage. Get blend out arguments. Now, is there a way? Anim montages are the bane of my existence lately. How so? I know. Well, I mean, anim montages are. I like. It's also pretty hectic as well. Depending on the kind of game you're making, you might need to mark up your montages with like a bunch of different notifies and notify states and stuff. Like surprisingly, a lot of gameplay logic exists within anim montages, especially for like action RPG games. So is playing slot animation? Yes, we want to do that. We want to do only default slot. We want to branch. Do that. Oh, what's wrong here? Target is anim instance. I'm better with code than animations, getting them to flow well between gameplay abilities. Yeah, okay. But like, luckily, you know, with the game I'm making here, I would say it's pretty binary with the abilities that I have. Like, you know, you're either activating one or the other. Okay, so something broke. So okay, it's called default slot. I do like how easy it is to add and remove gameplay tags in the montages themselves. Yeah, I'd wonder like if this needs to even be. I guess it should be like its own notify state because it's explicit what it's doing. But you know, you could always have just a generic like add gameplay tag notify state and then make a child out of it. So let's see if this works again. Still no. Okay. Let's see. Now the real hunt begins, right? So we get to here. This is false. So is there a way to get slot? So montage sections, there should be a window, anim slot manager, default slot. Did I spell everything correct? I used a lot of send gameplay event to actor with tag. Okay. Interesting. Is there? Do you have any like use case examples of what, like why you would do that within a montage, or you're not allowed to really say? Is there a way from this animation to say slot? No. So basically, this check is failing, and I'm not sure why. Maybe I would be able to figure it out better in C++. Okay, so that's still failing. Oh, it's because I'm still checking it. Duh. Okay. Yeah, that works good. So we're gonna have to figure this out. We'll do this in C++. I'm assuming I have to make this bigger. Hopefully this code size is big enough as you see it now. So let's first go into player controller. So unpossessed is where I would want to do this weighting here. So there is this callback here. I'm gonna have to do something similar. So I should be able to, I hope. So ASC, wait. No, there's gameplay. So generic gameplay event callbacks. Add loose gameplay tags. Yeah, this is where I'm going to be showing my weakness here. I gotta figure out how to get this task to work. Because it doesn't really require actually an ability system component explicitly. So I should be able to do like what? Wait, gameplay tag. Count changed. So U ability async, I believe. So I gotta figure out this syntax, how to actually implement this. Is there an example? Don't think so. But hold on, there is this. So register gameplay tag event. Okay, so I should be able to just do this instead. Then I need to... I use it to register melee hits to time equipping and unequipping of inventory items, register when an attack item has finished playing, so the next ability can be used. Okay. I wonder, because like one of the things I need to work on next, and I guess it may not be necessary at the moment, but when I introduce like melee and I guess melee primarily, like you're saying. I want to set up like input buffering, like an input buffer system, so that like you can track when you're trying to press attack, and then mark up montages as well to know when we're recording the buffer, when we're opening it up, recording it, and then flushing it and executing like the last input. That'll be something interesting. That way I would want to need to try to do. So let's look at the signature of this function. It's this. Let's go to here. Actually, let's do it in the same location on damage dealt fallback. This can be void. Let's see if the AI assistant will give us documentation. I use the AI assist in Writer, which is super useful. Yeah, my job, when we were doing early prototypes at work, I had to implement an input buffer system in Blueprints. It worked decently well, but then once we moved to production, we had to make a more robust version of it within code and everything, so we passed it on to actual engineers. So I guess I want to do... I don't know, should I have just a generic one here? No, I'll just do on. How should I phrase this? So register failed inputs to some sort of map with a time. If it's within the threshold, trigger, otherwise clear it. Yeah, that makes sense. Like the way we did it, at least the way I did it, was, I had a big component, had all the, enhanced input action events. Every time something was pressed, we would check if the buffer was open. If it was open, we would add it to just an array. And then I don't think there was like a delayed flush of anything. There might have been, I can't remember. But then, yeah, once we execute on the closing of the buffer, we flushed it and, executed. And, since it was input action, we just kind of told it to do the input action since it was linked to the ability system that way. But yeah, maybe there's more, robust ways of like tracking times and having timeouts. That would be pretty interesting. I think something like this will look good. So let's generate it. Do that. Go back up. Oh, wait. Why did it do it here? Do it here. That, and then tag. Excuse me, I should. It's something I need to look into, but I really don't like the idea of just not doing anything if you press another button right at the end of the ability. Yeah, you're 100% right. That kind of lends to the game feel where like the player wanted to do something, and if it's within a reasonable threshold to do so, you should try to execute it. So yeah, an input buffer system would be useful, especially for melee combat. You're spamming. There should be like some sort of like window where you can't like spam. Like if you double tap the attack button, you shouldn't swing and then automatically swing to the next one. There should be some grace period for it. Do I have the native tags in this? I do. So I should be able to say for the tag status underscore can move interrupt. And then I want to say Guess I need a private variable, maybe. Boolean, no, just bool. We can move interrupt equals false. And then I should be able to say I believe that's valid. There should be like a conversion there. I just think it should be 1 or 0, so I think 1 is true. I was meant to be doing combat implementation, but got sidetracked with making a subsystem for factions. I hadn't had a chance to use this subsystem for anything before. Oh, that's cool. Like I know Unreal comes with like a team system. Is it something you referenced when you were doing this, or did you kind of just go based off on on the top of your head from scratch? So we got new count here. Now I need to register movement. So I should be able to do something similar as I do in the character. No, so there should be some sort of player input component, right? I hope. So there's post-process input, pre-process input. Let's just type in input, see what we get. Okay, let's look at the base class and just see if there's anything. I'm sure there's gonna be a lot for input. Oh Lord, okay. Input system. Spawn the appropriate class of player input. Only call for player controllers that belong to local players. Okay, cool. Oh no. Ads finished, stream crash, second round of ads. So sorry. Alright, let's just look at, oh my god, there's so many things for input. Initialize. Input. Get input. What's the player character one? Set up player input component. Set up inactive. Sets up input bindings for the input component pushed up the stack in the inactive state. Maybe we can use the AI assistant for this one. So UE5, C++, input component, player controller. So, okay. So there is like a setup input component. Pfft, okay. I did look at it, but it wasn't quite as robust as what I needed, as I have quite a few factions and sub-factions. Okay, that makes sense. With some complex reputation and disposition logic between themselves and the player, I use gameplay tags for the actual factions themselves and then use structs with software data assets in a data table to initialize the logic. Nice! You know, it's always kind of crazy to think about, like, I guess with any kind of system that you're working on, you know, you have to, you know, on one hand, think about it as a whole, but you also have to kind of just break it down. You can't do it right the first time, and you have to come to accept that. So, like with your case, you know, you have factions and sub-factions and complex reputation and stuff. So you kind of have to think, okay, what are the factions? Then you gotta think, okay, how do I register sub-factions? Okay, how do I even think about reputation? What affects reputation? What is reputation? Is it just like a number? You know, how does the number get influenced? How do we track that? Yeah. I can imagine it took a few passes. You should be proud of yourself if it even works a little bit. Okay, so we have a setup input component. So I should be able to virtual void override this. Okay, now I should be able to do kind of what I did here. And I just need the movement stuff. So I should be able to just say this. Because, like, I don't explicitly... Well, I guess I do want to bind it. So let's do like this. Generate. Okay. Let's see. So there's this, and now I could just do this. It's all good. I mean, I don't know if I want to explicitly bind anything. I definitely need to include. So there's no way to get the input component. Or is it just called input component? Okay. Cool, cool. Now, I don't know if I need to do that part. Let me close that off. Let's see what we have. Enhanced input component, bind. I guess I could just do bind action, right? I don't need to do something like this. So enhanced input component, bind action. And then, so constant input action. Is there a way to get the input action without having to, like, you know, set up like a parameter or anything? UE5, C++, bind action. Okay, so nope. That's the old way of doing it. So UE5, C++, bind action, enhanced input. Okay, so you could still type it like that? Is that legit? Let's see. Let's see what happens. And then we got to make a new function. So can move interrupt. I guess in here is okay. I mean, is that public? Yeah. Protected, maybe. Yeah, something like this. So view function. So void can move interrupt. Because, like, what I'm nervous about with this, using that, like, kind of string, is like within this whole project, there's like 3 different IA moves. I don't know which one it's gonna pick, you know? So I kind of wonder if this will work. And the reason why there's 3 different ones is because I have like a couple of different example projects within this, some starter content stuff. Whoops, that didn't delete, but there's the player controller. But we'll find out, I guess. So we should now be able to go up here. And then can move interrupt. I thought that's what I need. Okay. I really like Lyra's method of binding gameplay tags to input actions via template functions on all the input triggers. I think that's where I copied this logic, and how they use like bind action by tag, and then the bindability actions here. I believe that's how. I think I took it from Lyra. Yeah, I see what you mean with the holding and pressing there too. So what am I missing here? No viable function. Are we sure this works this way? Because it takes a const u input action. So I might need to get a reference to it. Let's just try it. So u property, edit anywhere, blueprint, read only, category, input. So set just a u input action, movement input action. I say like no pointer or something. And can I say like that? And now it's happy. Let's see what happens when we try to compile that. Let's see if it even compiles. Yeah, I need to look more into that Lyra method, because that's how I would want my abilities to be set up. I want you to be able to like swap them in and out, and I'm not 100% sure how to do that. So based on what you're saying, that should be possible if I did it the same way Lyra did. Now I don't even remember. Yeah, eventually I gotta get to that. Like, I know my order of operations isn't very good. Okay, so implicit conversion from int32 to bool. So guess we can't do that. I guess I could just say so new count how did I say it? Is it greater than 0? Conditional expression. I always forget how to write these. Primary operator. Condition. So is new count greater than 0? I don't know if that's even a good way of handling it. Let's see what happens when we try that. Or am I able to say, for example, I know that just compiled, but whatever. Can I say, like, bool new count? Or is it like that? Or do I have to say cast bool new count? I don't know if that's valid. I was just typing things into it until it stopped yelling at me. So let's see what happens. Okay, it yelled at me again. Makes sense. Okay. Because I'm casting. Why am I casting? I'm so stupid. Oh man, I'm not thinking correct. C++, convert int into bool. Thank you. Static cast bool. That looks kosher. I did learn a neat trick lately for making blueprint callable C++ functions that can have multiple execution pins that cleaned up my blueprints a lot. Can you share? Are you able to share this trick? You can always, I guess the Discord thing doesn't work. Awkward. I can't really send this through this normal chat. But yeah, just send it over there that way. It would work. So at this point, I don't even know if what I'm doing is gonna work. I should have added a log. I think I will add a log. So let's open back up here. No, I don't think I should have exited that out, but let's just do a UE log. temp warning text can move interrupt. I'll just do that. You know, I don't need to include any Boolean logic just yet. Do. Hey. Let's see if the kitty wants to get on stream. Lola. No. Maybe she's a little shy. I don't know if you can't really see her in the background, like literally like right blocking her. Lola. Awkwardly trying to get a cat on. She usually likes to climb up on the chair and onto the desk. I don't know, maybe she's a little camera shy. So before we even try to attempt to look into this, we need to then first go into the player controller and actually put in the input mapping. The input action, I should say. And then after we do this, you know, I'm only going to stream for about an hour and a half. These streams are kind of short. We're going to see if we can... Maybe next stream, I want to do some PSO caching because I've been noticing, you know, things slowing down on the first playthroughs, and I kind of want to try to resolve that. And I know Tom Lumen has a good tutorial on it, and I've done it in the past, but I gotta refresh myself. The U function blueprint callable meta expand enum as execs out custom enum. Oh, okay. So you make an enum, whatever you want, then use the expand enum as execs with a reference to the enum in the parameters. That's cool. So let's see if our movement input is being registered. That's the declaration you would use, but you can have as many execs as you want. Thanks for sharing. Okay, so we know it is working, can move interrupt. That's cool. So now we actually got to implement this logic, right? So we should be able to say, no. So, if we can move interrupt we should be able to say, so I guess it has to be like a gas course. I guess we could say player character because this will always be a player. Player character equals cast a gas course player character get control. Or is it just, can I get the pawn? Maybe pawn or get pawn? Oh. Get pawn. We could change this to another if. Okay, that's the declaration. Useful when you need to do different logic regardless of the outcome. Saves branches everywhere. Interesting. Yeah, I mean, everyone tries their best not to make, you know, spaghetti blueprints, you know, blueprints from hell. So any way to kind of clean up blueprints is always a plus. So what do we need to do now? Now that we have our player character, we should be able to get the mesh and anim instance. So player character. I guess I gotta be like get mesh. Get anim instance. Can I say, was it anim instance? This then there's the current active montage, so say like anim montage. Current active montage. I guess that could also be in an if. Okay, now is there like a way for me to know anim montage? There's this slot is valid slot, slot index has valid slot setup, slot anim tracks. Let's see, UE5. Let's see if the AI system can help me here. I've had some wild blueprints on I've seen some wild blueprints on Twitch. One of them had so much spaghetti you couldn't even see the background through the rainbow colored ramen. We've all been there. Well, at least I've been there. So that's the only way you can learn. UE5 C++ get anim slot from montage. Is there a way to do that? Okay, so there's get slot name. Is there not? Interesting, interesting. So get section metadata for the montage includes metadata belonging to the anim reference here. So section name, slot name. So we want to get section metadata. Get section name, section metadata. Can I say slot? Interesting. So each slot data referenced by animation slot. Maybe that's the best way to do it. Because I just want to know what the slot name is. So f name slot name equals this. And then I want to do UE log temp warning text slot name do it like this, slot name to string Let's see if a hot steamy reload will do anything for us. Yeah, we got about 20 minutes left, so hopefully we'll be able to achieve everything we needed to do. Fingers crossed. Because there's always next time, you know. And next time we'll do PSO caching. I'll at least try to. And then after that, I want to do dodging. I think dodging is something that's missing. Like, I bought an animation pack for dodging, so I want to look into it a little bit. Maybe put in jumping, because like I am using the gameplay animation plugin. Not plugin, but those animations from the gameplay animation project. And it includes jumping, so I should add those in. And then if we have jumping, maybe we can have like air dashing. So, you know, a lot to do. So little time. So let's activate our ability. Press T, hold. And we didn't get any information. So, let's see. So 3, T, ah! So get current active montage is null. Interesting. Is that how it was? There's. Let's see. Does this print current active montage? Okay. So slot name default slot. Let's see here. So yeah, that makes sense. That's fine. And that was working, right? Yeah, default slot. So then I should be able to say so if and I say so anim montage slot, what do I want to say? So anim instance. Is slot active? What's the difference between is playing slot animation? I'll say is slot active. So I should be able to comment these things out for the moment. And then I should say stop with blend out, and then it needs guess I could say const f blend out. What's the type? This. I say blend out args and then do this and then add a montage and do that. Maybe that's okay. Let's compile that bad boy. And then that should be good. Yeah, hot reloading has been very inconsistent. From my understanding, hot reloading when you're just making changes within the not the header file. What's the other thing than the header file? The source file? Just drawing a huge blank. What is the opposite of a header file? Yeah, CVP and then header. So what's the CVP called? Is it source file? Source, yeah. I think. All right, so moment of truth. And it works. And to confirm, let's nuke all this crap. Way better. And I guess, again, to prove our point, let's just move this thing. Yes. Cool. Something like there. So basically, we are giving ourselves 45 frames to be able to move out of it. And that's like 2.5 seconds, which is huge in this kind of fast-paced action game. Yeah, source files out. I always forget. So yeah, now we could do this, and if I confirm, and we can just easily break out. And then we got cooldown. We can go back up, cancel, go right into it. Boom. I feel like there's more leverage I can do. Like as soon as he lands like there, I should be able to do that. And I don't know if I have inertialization working or not. I don't really know. Yeah. Nope. So there's add inertialization after this request. There inertialization. Oh. Let's see. Does that break? Kind of. So yeah, don't yell at me about that comment. That's the gameplay animation thing. Inertialization. So that's an interesting way, and that's just triggering an interrupt. Yeah, so basically what I have done is I marked up this animation so that when I reach this point, I'm given a tag. The tag is the movement interrupt tag. And then within the player controller, whenever I'm trying to move, which is here, I'm registering that to the movement input. I check to see if I can interrupt, which is done here when I register for the gameplay tag count. And then I get the currently active montage. I check if it's a default slot because we don't want this to happen with animations from like upper body or anything. It's only when full body we want to be able to interrupt and be able to blend out with our movement. I guess blend out time, change that to like 0.15 and it'll be a little faster. But in general, like it works pretty well. So we're moving slow here just for the sake of seeing it. So I go up, press T to cancel, and now I'm holding W, and I'm able to interrupt there. Do it again. Looks good. So that works, and the way that I believe the reason why it is smooth is because we're doing the stop with blend out, so we stop it, but we're blending out, so it kind of gives you like that smooth transition there. So I believe that was everything I wanted to accomplish. Like for the time being, I think that's the only ability that has such animation, but I'm going to add it for the dodging when we do that next. That might have helped me figure out how to approach my lack of flow with combat. I hope so. That's pretty cool. Let me know if it ends up working for you. And, since we're coming to an end, I invite you guys, if you feel the desire, to join our Discord. So if you do have follow-up questions, you want to share anything, you're more than welcome to join. I see we have one of you guys, I think. Maybe not. We had someone just join. Yeah, we had Graham join. You did join. Thank you. So thanks for joining. Yeah, we have some people talking. I try to update the Discord. Try to try to get people to join and talk and hang out and discuss and learn. So the more the merrier. I did join. I had the Outriders video up on the other screen. Yeah, so I hope if you did play Outriders, I hope you enjoyed it. So yeah, we got movement interrupt. Everything's moved to C++. It's relatively clean. I could maybe add like a check and an instance or something before doing anything else. But I guess in general, it works. Fingers crossed. Yeah, so yeah, Outriders use gas, and so did World Slayer. And yeah, it used it a lot. All the armor mods, weapon mods, the abilities, obviously themselves. We did a lot through gas, and because it's multiplayer, gas helped a lot. But that was very difficult time to figure out with multiplayer, but it was a lot of fun. So now we have I can't remember the there it is. So cancel, movement interrupt, bam. So I got, I have this ability to be able to zoom in and out. I don't know, it's very legacy. Because I was trying to make like a more of a top-down kind of game, but now I'm kind of like, you know, you can play if you want to play like this. Also, I don't like how this animation looks. But yeah. Boom. Boom. So, yeah. Everything relatively works nice. Yeah, cha-cha slide. He's hitting it real smooth, honestly. So is it like literally only in this like direction, or did the system just fuck up or something? No, it's like here. We'll have to figure that out someday. But it's not this day. Okay. So that's everything, I think. And just to show you guys some more, you know, from time to time I make package builds. Yeah, it's motion matching. It's the gameplay animation example. I just migrated the assets over. Eventually, we're gonna have to make the jumping with it too. But yeah, this is a package version of our game. And I have this test map that has some more, you know, assets from the marketplace. It's more stylized. So we have this kind of world we can be in. And you know, we have just a single test dummy. And we can kind of just play the game. So slowly but surely making progress, you know, have a nice little open world to explore, but I don't know what kind of game. I kind of want to make like a very, I don't want to make an adventure game, I don't think. Like, it seems like it's too much trouble. I might want to make like, I don't know, I can't think of the names of the games. Like Slay the Spire, maybe? Like pretty much like an arena type game, I think. I think that's more in my scope. I should probably adjust the, you know, pitch of the projectiles based off of control rotation, maybe. Not sure. Yeah, this is a basic environment that came with the, I think this came with the asset pack. I just made some changes to it. But I don't really give this environment too much time or love. I'm just focused mostly on gameplay mechanics. But yeah, slowly working on this. Always try to check the FPS. I have VSync turned on. If I turn it off, we're at like, you know, 80 frames per second, which isn't that great. But, you know, again, we're not doing like an open environment kind of game. We're kind of just chilling. So yeah, that's the project. That's our gas course project. That's what we're going to be working on. Yeah, scoping is very difficult. I'm going to have to work on that. So I'm hoping, you know, I don't even have AI, you know? I have these dudes that I'm just smacking with shit, you know? I don't have any kind of like, I technically don't have combat, you know? I just have one-sided things that you can do. So eventually maybe I'll have something. Like, even if I have like enemies that can just walk up to you and hit you, I don't know, we'd have to make some different varieties at some point, but I feel like that would be like one of the last things that I can try to do. So yeah, that's where I'm gonna end it for today. So thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. I know you guys already followed me here on Twitch, so thank you for that. If there's anyone else watching on Twitch that hasn't already followed me, then make sure to follow me there. Same for those watching on YouTube. The live streams are streamed on YouTube and kept on YouTube as well. So I think that's where I'll call it. Join the Discord if you'd like. We'll stream again on Thursday. And see you soon.